हे गाइस, वेलकम टू दिल से रिएक्ट। तो गाइस, आज का जो नया वीडियो है उसका टाइटल है एज कंपनीज लीव चाइना इज इंडिया देयर टॉप चॉइस। तो गाइस, ज़्यादा देरी नहीं करते हुए पहले वीडियो की तरफ देखते हैं, उसके बाद इसके बारे में बात करेंगे। तो चलिए आइए देखते पहले।
Do you wear Levi's jeans? Do you have New Balance sneakers? Are you using an iPhone or any Apple product for that matter? I know what you're thinking. What a bizarre set of questions to ask on a Sunday evening. But hear me out. All these products have two things in common. One, they're all American brands. And two, they're all made in China. See the irony here. American brands, but made in China. And this story is not limited to American brands. It's the story of most brands today. China is the world's factory. It's a title they've had for 4 decades now, but it's a title they're losing thanks to the Wuhan virus. Slowly but surely, Beijing is losing its place as the center of global supply chains. So, why are companies moving out of China? Where are they going to? And why aren't they coming to India? More importantly, why should you care? Hello and welcome. I'm Palki Sharma, and on this show, we'll try to read between the lines, the stated and the unstated, the obvious and the hidden, to bring you the full story. China has long been the manufacturing hub of the world. Most of what we use in our daily lives today is made in China. In fact, China is responsible for around 30% of all the manufacturing in the world. Imagine that. One country responsible for 30% of global manufacturing. How did this happen? Well, it was a combination of a lot of factors. The term made in China was first coined in the 1940s. That's when China boycotted Japanese and other foreign products. They had to find a replacement, so they came up with Made in China. Beijing turned this boycott into an opportunity, a way to grow its own industries. But this growth remained sluggish for decades. Then China came up with a series of reforms. This was in the late 1970s. There was a series of land reforms. It allowed more people to work in major cities. Then China targeted foreign investors. The Communist Party started establishing special economic zones. They were market friendly, businesses loved them. But the real boom happened in the late 90s and the early 2000s because of a number of reasons: cheap labor, weak labor laws, low taxes, suitable infrastructure, cheap electricity, and a government that would never change. The Communist Party has ruled China for decades. So China became the king of manufacturing. But in 2018, something shifted. Donald Trump was the president of the United States of America. He kicked off a trade war with China. And we know businesses follow political moods. So companies began distancing themselves from China. It was very slow and gradual, but it was happening. Then came the Wuhan virus. It hit both sentiment and supply chains. China made it worse with its zero COVID policy. Factories shut down, workers were quarantined. China wanted to eliminate the homemade virus. It only led to more chaos. Companies across the world realized they could not rely on just one country. Meanwhile, the US-China trade war intensified. There were too many complications for businesses operating in China, so they decided to shift shop, to move out of China. But where are they going?
Coronavirus.
No single country. There's a bunch of them. Among the biggest winners of the shift is Vietnam. A communist nation just like China, Vietnam saw rapid economic reform in the 90s. This is a country once ravaged by war. The reforms turned it into a middle economy. And now Vietnam is a top option for global companies. Labor is cheap, just like in China, and government policies support businesses. It's a win-win for companies. Many of them are already moving their production lines from China to Vietnam. This list includes Nike, Adidas, Samsung, and Apple. In fact, Apple already makes smartphones in Vietnam. Now it wants to make MacBooks in the same country. Vietnam also has a 2030 master plan. It wants to integrate its infrastructure corridor, basically make it easier to manufacture on a mass scale. So Vietnam is clearly leading the race. But other Southeast Asian nations are also benefiting. Two of them are competing for global investments: Thailand and Malaysia. Thailand is Southeast Asia's second largest economy, already a production hub for car parts. It is now aiming bigger. It wants more investments, and some multinationals have taken note of this. The likes of Sony and Sharp, they're setting shop there. Malaysia too is eyeing such opportunities. In 2020, 32 projects relocated from China to Malaysia. In fact, its foreign direct investments hit a 5-year high in 2021. It was a record $48.1 billion. So we have Vietnam, Malaysia, and Thailand, 3 Southeast Asian nations, all vying for global investments. What about South Asia? Well, 2 countries stand out here, India and Bangladesh. Bangladesh has always had a robust garment manufacturing sector. That's because of costs. An average worker in China earns some $670 every month. In Bangladesh, that same worker would earn around $120. That's 5 times less. So cost is a major factor. Bangladesh is already the world's second largest garments exporter. The first is still China. But now Dhaka wants more. It is trying to attract investments in sectors like pharma and agriculture. And then we have India, the world's most populous country. The economy is in a good place. There's a large labor pool, a long history of manufacturing,
$670,
government support for policies. India ticks all the boxes. Then why is India not the top choice?
Only 120.
It has long been trying to position itself as an alternative to China, and the conditions look perfect on paper. Some big projects are already making headlines. For instance, reports say Apple may shift more than 18% of its iPhone production to India by 2025. All in all, it looks very positive.
So basically हम लोग ये देख पा रहे हैं कि ज़्यादातर जब कोरोना वायरस ये सब आया था उसके बाद से जितनी अदर कंट्रीज जो वहाँ से इंपोर्ट कर रही थी फ्रॉम चाइना और चाइना जो एक्सपोर्ट कर रहा था कि वहाँ पर कंपनीज को चेंज करना पड़ा क्योंकि बिकॉज ऑफ कंपनीज लिविंग चाइना, क्योंकि उनका जो दाम है या जो चीज़ों का दाम उन लोग जिस दाम पे उन लोग मैन्युफैक्चर ये सब कर रहे थे उसका भी कॉस्ट बढ़ रहा है और उसके बाद ज़्यादातर लोग चाइना की पॉलिसीज को सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहे। नाउ हम लोग ये भी देखते आ रहे हैं कि इंडिया आने वाले दिन में क्या चाइना को इस रेस में बीट कर सकता है कि नहीं। सभी का ये मानना है कि बीट कर सकते हैं क्योंकि हम लाइक द सेकेंड मोस्ट पॉपुलेटेड कंट्री है आफ्टर चाइना, तो हम लोग क्यों नहीं कर सकते। हमारे पास लेबर की कमी नहीं है, सब कुछ है हम लोग के पास। लेकिन जहाँ तक ये भी सुनने आ रहा है कि एप्पल जो है ना, जिसमें एप्पल की भी बात हो रही थी, एप्पल जो है वो ज़्यादातर अपना मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट ये सब जो है या एप्पल आईफोन का जो प्रोडक्शन है दैट इज अराउंड 18% वो शिफ्ट करने जा रहा है टू इंडिया। पहले चाइना में होता था, अब वो इंडिया शिफ्ट करने जा रहा है बाय 2025। अब सिर्फ अगर एप्पल या ये सब चीज इंडिया आ रहा है प्रोडक्शन के लिए तो मेरा मानना ये है कि इंडिया सेकेंड हब बन सकता है आफ्टर चाइना टू मैन्युफैक्चर टू प्रोड्यूस ये सब, क्योंकि हमारे पास कोई चीज़ की कमी नहीं है। तो ये इसी बारे में बात हुआ कि इंडिया भी सेकेंड लार्जेस्ट प्रोड्यूसिंग कंट्री बन सकता है इन टर्म्स ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी, इन टर्म्स ऑफ अदर थिंग्स ऑल्सो। तो मेरा राय ये है, आप लोग का क्या राय है वो जरूर हमें कमेंट सेक्शन में बताइएगा। और अगर ये वीडियो पसंद आए तो लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब एंड कमेंट करना ना भूलें और हमें प्यार ऐसे ही देते रहे। थैंक यू।